And recording. So, keeping on with the theme for the night, I'm actually going to continue to explore a couple different metal bands from Mexico. Um, Generally, when I listen to metal on my own time, it's American bands or it's Scandinavian bands, and then more recently with this channel, Japanese bands. So, Mexico is kind of like a blind spot for me as far as the metal scene goes. I've never really explored it, never really checked it out. Um, so yeah, I want to do more, especially right now that I have it fresh in my head with Dia de los Muertos having just finished. Uh, so I went to Google and just did a search to see if I can get a list of different bands from Mexico. And one that caught my eye was Agora, which was listed as a prog metal band. And I do love me some progressive metal. So they have a song that I have queued up called En la Nada, which should mean in the nothing. And it's about a 5 minute song. So nothing too over the top. Nice little bite sized prog song. And go! Interested to see what they sound like. Like that tone. Gonna pause it there and backtrack a little bit for copyright. I have a feeling that the singer and the keyboard player really like Dream Theater. Like I can hear it a lot in the vocals. Like he really likes Dream Theater. Like he has a lot of the same kind of like range that he's trying to hit. A lot of the high notes, high frequencies, and just even like the kind of cadence he has in his singing. And with the keyboard player, like he's playing like really interesting, not necessarily even notes, but sounds. Like just the way he has his keyboard kind of like tune, like the samples that he has. Yeah, it's cool. And I'm also thinking that the drummer, one of the guitars, and the singer have a lot of the same kind of like facial features. So are they related? Are there brothers in this band? Doesn't really change anything. It's just cool. Um, but yeah, they sound really great together. They sound really tight. I like the different sections that they have, the different musical sections, and like I can tell that the guitarist can probably shred. Like I'm expecting a solo coming up. He had a little bit, like a little 3 4 second like climb up the scale that he did earlier that just sounded really good. Let me backtrack just a smidge. Go. That sounded great. That sounded really good. I kind of get the feeling that this was probably the single off their album, whichever album it was. And they are single-handedly keeping Affliction in business, it looks like four of them had Affliction shirts on. That's funny. That doesn't matter at all. Yeah, they sounded great. That last like little riffage spot at the end, the last like 20 seconds of it, it got like super hard and super fast, and I liked that. And there was that breakdown at about the 3.5 4 minute mark where it got very lighthearted, and it just sounded really beautiful. Like the tone of the guitar, the melody that was being played on the keys and everything. So they showed a lot of different range. And like obviously it's a prog song, so there should be a bunch of different elements in there. But for like a 5 minute song, they like jammed a whole bunch of stuff into it, and it felt pretty seamless. So yeah, it sounded great. I really dug the singer's voice. Like he has a nice like range where his voice sits, where it's like high enough that it matches with the keyboard and the high end stuff that's being played on the guitar, and it stands out from the bass and the drum. So like it's sitting like really nicely in the mix, like in a nice high spot. But it sounds good though. I enjoyed him a lot. Now I'm kind of curious to see what else they have, because this one was just under 5 minutes. If they do love Dream Theater, like it seems like they do, I'm imagining they probably have songs that are closer to 8 or 10 minutes, and that's actually my bread and butter. Like that's the sweet spot that I like to hear in music, especially prog rock. Like I need like longer songs so that I can see like artistically their composition skills. But like this definitely came across like a single, and yeah, it showcased a lot. I'm very like pleasantly surprised